Hey, remember back in '93 when Ryan thought Shockmaster was going to be a future world champion?
The modern day wrestling god! What?
And that's why, Jack, you're so smart.
Now back to Jack and Ryan on the MonsterCast.
Don Callis attacked again, but this time for real. I mean, technically it was attacked the first time for real, the first time as well, but it was just not supposed to go down that way when he got attacked by the BCC and got busted the fuck open. So at TripleMania, of course, I mean, among the other 8 shows that happened last night, after the show, this was after the show, correct?
Yeah.
On a football field or soccer field or some shit.
Baseball, I think.
Baseball field. Okay, my bad. There was a angle done with Takeshita, Callis, and Omega with a bunch of media people around and a few fans as well. I'll let you take it away since you have actually seen a lot more on it than I have, and there's been a couple updates, I believe, as well, or theories thrown out there too. So go ahead.
Yeah, a couple updates. So apparently it wasn't. At first, the report was that it was a fan. That it was a fan who just like jumped in and started grabbing and tore down Callis to the ground or whatever. Turns out apparently the latest information on it is that it was actually one of the cameramen who was there filming the event, who it was still real to him, damn it. He didn't understand that it was part of an angle, and as Callis started moving away from the fight or whatever, he grabbed Callis and took him down to the ground to get him to stop from leaving. He wasn't like punching him or anything, he wasn't like throwing fists, but word is apparently he grabbed Callis around the waist, and you can kind of see it in like the corner of the video, but it's not a really good shot. You can only see their legs. But security at the event was wearing black pants, so you know it's not security.
And you can hear the people behind the camera or the people that was recording it. They were reacting to it as well towards the end of the video. They're like, hey, like,
Yeah.
trying to get people's attention to go fucking separate that shit.
Right. So it's not like Omega got up and had to break kayfabe completely to go break it up or anything. Luckily, everybody kind of caught on, like, hey, that guy's not part of this. So everybody started moving over, and toward the end of the video, it kind of cuts off before it gets resolved. But from that, basically the guy had grabbed him around the waist and kind of ankle tripped him and brought Callis down. And apparently it hurt Callis for real, as far as his neck is apparently injured and his ankle is injured from this. So yeah, not the best situation. Maybe I understand why you can't pre-tell everyone that's going to be there what's going on or whatever, but that is one of the, I guess, issues you run into when you run like work shoot angles is if it looks like during the work shoot that it's a real fight and that a bunch of people are jumping in to try to break them up, and you have somebody there that's not aware, then they might also try to jump in and break stuff up. And unfortunately, that's what happened, and he did get hurt. So
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people realize in these other countries, like when they went to have Backlash in WWE in Puerto Rico, I said that those fans are insane in Puerto Rico, and I was kind of nervous depending on who was going to be there, right? So like,
yeah.
And then everybody was like, "Oh, it's no big deal. They've been there before." That's not the point, man. There's certain countries that protect that fucking business still to this day, like we used to, where you can't fucking do certain shit around certain people. Like, okay, so the UK, obviously they know, right? America knows, Canada knows, but Puerto Rico, Mexico, these fucking, and I think when we've had this conversation before on the. Go ahead.
India.
Yeah, India, exactly.
For some fucking reason, are the worst.
I was very nervous about Saudi Arabia when they first started going over there as well. But then we realized they were just clueless, not because they thought it was real, because they didn't even know who the hell was alive and not alive. But yes, India as well, especially if it's an Indian wrestler. Oh my God, it's over for you, right?
Or if it's the Undertaker. For some reason, they fucking love the Undertaker, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. But
There's
they go crazy for the Undertaker.
But yeah, these people are like really hardcore about that shit. And we had this conversation before on a previous show when we were talking in like ratio from how big wrestling is compared to the rest of the public in that place, right? So we had this conversation about New Japan because I was always curious, is New Japan really as big as we perceive it to be over here? And you said no, not really. Obviously, WWE, even WWE taking the biggest promotion, it's not even fucking 2% of America, right? No one. I mean, they know that it exists, but no one's. But in Mexico, in Puerto Rico, those are huge fucking things. They're viewed at such high levels there that shit like this, I'm actually surprised it doesn't happen more often.
Yeah, I would actually even say that relative to WWE in the United States today, New Japan is more of a mainstream thing in Japan than WWE is in the US, but it's nowhere near what it was in like the 90s with AJ.
Think about and to put that in perspective even more, we just started having regular WWE wrestlers go off into other forms of entertainment. In Japan, they do that. They've been doing that. I think Inoki had a fucking soundtrack, like an actual album. Like, there's people that do albums. Hayabusa had a fucking actual singing album. Like, they go off and do politics or music or acting, etc. So, like, and that's been a thing.
A big thing in Japan with New Japan Pro Wrestlers specifically is that you'll see them on a lot of, like, game show type shit or, like, prank show type shit. If you're familiar with, like, YouTube reactors, there's a genre of Japanese television that has essentially been that for years, and they get a lot of Japanese wrestlers involved in that sort of stuff too.
Hey, don't forget all the videos that we've been seeing on social media lately of New Japan wrestlers in animes that people have been posting constantly. You don't see that over here. You don't see that. There's no Hulk Hogan Rockin' Wrestling is been gone. Like, that was our claim to fame in Sergeant Slaughter and G.I. Joe. That was it.
Well, to be fair, a lot of that is coming from Tiger Mask W, I think it's called Tiger Mask something. But so I mean, it's a pro wrestling anime. But yes, there have been crossover appearances in other ones too, like
video games as well.
Tiger Mask and stuff, yeah.
But we just started getting that kind of thing, like Batista in Gears of War. That's a relatively new thing, but over there, wrestlers in the Yakuza series and shit like that is widespread.
A lot of Tekken stuff too.
Hey guys, did you like that video? If so, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. You can also catch full episodes of the MonsterCast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. And you can also catch us live every Sunday on Twitch. All links in the description below, along with some sweet merch from yours truly, the MonsterCast. Deuces.